Can I taste your juice?
Hey folks, PBusardo. Sorry, there are going to be no review videos this week. Probably not next week either. This weekend, I do have to go to Jersey to attend my beautiful little niece's first communion. Okay, family first. That's got to happen first. And then next week, pretty early, got to hit to Germany for the Hall of Vape event, which I'm really excited to attend. Okay, but so what am I going to do in this video? What we're going to do in this video is I actually reversed this video because I thought the last part was going to be the first part and the first part was going to be the last part, but I reversed that. So now the first part is the last part and the last part is the first part. Okay, because I just finished taking Dimitri to the airport. I just got him to the airport, and while he was here, we worked on a project together. We did a whole bunch of Facebook Lives. I answered a whole bunch of questions. Always love having him around. Wished that we lived closer together. But I asked him to record a little kind of like advocacy slash state of vape video with me, okay? And that's what we're going to do first. And then after that, we'll get some more fun stuff, and I'll take you along to the E-Cig Gallery event that I just attended and see at least a little bit from there. I don't have a lot, but I got some photos, some quick video, and I definitely want to thank Ed for that event, okay? So let's do that. Let's do the kind of the state of vape with Mr. Dimitris Agrafiotis first. Why are you standing back there?
Yeah, put a pillow.
You're an idiot. Hey folks, PBusardo. Although I've already done that in this video because we're coming out of another section into this section right here because I have my pal Dimitris Agrafiotis, the Vaping Greek. I know, it's always good to have you here, dude. So we were working on a project this week, and we got that done, and then we went to see Mike Zen, right?
Sure
Mike
did.
Morgan.
Very interesting visit, yeah.
We went to for 5 minutes, so we wound up, what was it, 3 hours?
3 hours, yeah. And he's still talking, I think, after we left. Yeah, so it was great. But we got to see some American manufacturing and how, you know, he does his processes there. It was really interesting and always exciting to talk to him. His mind goes 1,000 miles a minute, so.
Absolutely. I still have some food in my teeth.
There you go.
It's okay. It was a salad, though. You're looking spectacular.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'm getting there.
How many pounds now?
Well, that's about 70 pounds. Oh.
Really? 70 pounds? You want some from me?
Sure. I mean, you know, for you, anything.
No, that's really sweet. So I figured your head is still cut off. Can you please come just a little bit closer? Okay. There you go. All right, that's better. So I figured while we got you here, how about a state of the affair or a state of the union kind of with vaping and where we are with the regulation, because as you know, I don't like to call myself an advocate because I like to talk about what I'm an expert on, and I don't feel like I'm an expert in this subject, so I'd rather have somebody like you talk
but
about
I don't consider myself an expert. I think all of us are passionate about vaping, and it doesn't really depend the degree of your involvement with an advocacy. The fact that you're willing to put your platform up to get that information outside, including Test Your Juice and of course your web channel here, is very, very important. And you always turn to me for the fun stuff. I've noticed that. You always turn to me for the fun stuff. But it's been a while since we've done an advocacy video here. Last year I was here at your house, and
just about a year ago,
we talked.
More,
we talked about Cole Bishop in 2058 at the time, and you're watching this video with a little bit of a deadline when it comes to federal action. We have Cole Bishop back on the books for this year. Since Trump was voted into the presidency, the budget was not voted back in December. We were expecting if a Democrat had won the election, and that's why we were pushing for Cole Bishop last year. But since the Republican won the seat, then the budget was kicked down to April, which is now, and now they're having discussions on how to pass a federal budget. Basically, how they're going to spend all our taxes and our money. So Cole Bishop is basically an amendment that would move the grandfather date from 2007 to 2016, which makes more sense to us. And also, keep in mind that this is something that's much needed for the retail shop and the vape shops and the liquid manufacturers to stay alive, right? Because once you move that grandfather date, then you are assured that the products that were on the market before August 8th of 2016 will remain on the market.
So they can continue selling those products.
Correct. Right? And unlike some of the ants and the opposition that are spreading lies out there, moving the grandfather date will not deregulate e-cigs, right? They're still going to be under the FDA stronghold. If you want to put new products on the market, you're going to have to go through a PMTA. But the products that were existing on the market before 2016 don't have to go through very expensive and burdensome regulations, and that's a big plus for a technology product like ours.
Now, would the products that have been on the market up till that point, will they have to go through something?
No.
No.
You'll have to register your products just like we do with the FDA. Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
But you don't have to go through the entire, PMTA process, the expensive, process. And plus, that will also set kind of a precedence as far as a substantial equivalency. Because if your product was on the market in July of 2016 and you put a substantially equivalent product on the market, you don't have to file a new application for it. You can refer to that product that was on the market before.
Okay.
So it saves a little bit more money and time for even new products that are going to come that are very, very similar to the products that are on the market.
Does it work that way with liquids too?
It's a little bit tricky, but I think that it could. I think it could possibly work. I mean, every time that you change an ingredient in a tobacco product, this is one of the reasons why it doesn't fit in our category, you have to notify the FDA.
Right, okay.
And then the FDA makes a determination if this is a new product. The Camel Crush that came out, they try to file substantial equivalency under a cigarette, but they got denied because you actually have to crush the filter and those little menthol crystals inside. I don't know if you know much about that cigarette. I didn't know much about it either, but I did some research. But they try to file substantial equivalency, but they said, nope, this is not the same as a cigarette. The cigarette, you light it up and you inhale, right. But this one you have to actually crush the filter to get the menthol crystals going and then light it up. So it's basically that same concept. I think if we can get some PMTAs for liquids through, I think that we'll be able to file substantial equivalency. Just change the flavorings, basically, that make the recipe. Okay. I'm not an attorney, by the way. Don't take that as legal advice. But the overall scope of Cole Bishop is moving that grandfather date, which in my opinion is the most critical part of our advocacy. And you remember last year when I was sitting at this chair, we discussed about, every group is just kind of confused and nobody's working together. Finally this year, the beginning of the year, all the groups got together and they said, this is how we move forward. Right. Cole Bishop, move the grandfather date. We all agree that this is the most important step. And it's nice to see everybody working towards that goal. So the next week, depending on when you're watching this video, but towards the end of this month is when the budget talks are going on. It's very important that everybody picks up their phone. You can go to august8th.org, or Phil can put up a little website here and kind of show you how you're going to be able to navigate that. You can call, you can send an email, or you can write to your representatives. And all you have to do is a very, very simple message. Just ask them that you want them to relay to leadership, and that's Senator McConnell, that Cole Bishop is a very important matter in your life, whether you're a consumer or industry. If you're in industry, it has a huge economic impact. You created jobs, you occupy buildings. If you're a consumer, vaping saves your life. It's very, very simple. And ask him to keep the Cole Bishop language inside the amendment so we can get in the appropriations bill. And that would be a huge victory for us as well, too, from a federal standpoint. It's not the only thing that we're doing, but right now, today, this is the most important step, and we're very, very close in getting this thing done. So we need the help from everybody. Okay.
So, and I know you want to talk about state a little bit, right? But before we do that, now there's other things that are being mentioned and going around, okay?
Sure.
The Michael Douglas, the Duncan
Hines,
the Hunter Douglas. Well, what is it really?
It's Duncan Hunter.
Duncan Hunter.
Yeah. So I want to preface this. There's various strategies going on right now, and some of them are public, some of them are not public. But it's very important that you guys understand that there are multiple avenues being sought for us to get some relief. It's not just one thing. And I support all of them, whether they have a chance to be effective or not. If there is a slight possibility that something can help us, we have to be able to support it. And there's no good one or bad one. It's just timing. That's what it boils down to. So Congressman Duncan Hunter, which actually vapes out of California, is introducing a bill. Has not been assigned a number yet, but in short, this bill removes vapor products from the tobacco products category, which is huge. It's something that we definitely need because we don't fit in the tobacco category, and we definitely don't fit in the pharmaceutical category.
Right.
So this bill is being introduced now. They've been working on it for about 4 or 5 months. The language, of course, will change, and it'll take a while for this thing to get some co-sponsors and make it through all the appropriate steps to become a law here in the United States. It could be a couple of years. But once this bill makes it public, we need to support it. We need to get our representatives to say that we support this. There's a lot of good stuff in that bill. Standards, there's some good, fair, reasonable regulations, but most importantly, it clarifies that vapor is a less harmful alternative to tobacco.
Nice, it actually says that.
Yes,
Isn't that wonderful?
Yes,
yeah.
And it quotes all the studies that we have from RCP in Vancouver and Cancer UK, and it quotes a lot of good stuff that we have out there that we've been using in our arsenal, but the FDA has chosen to ignore. So that's one avenue, and that's coming. It should be out by the time you watch this video. The other avenue that we have, of course, is Secretary Price, which heads the health department, and they overlook the FDA as well too. So we've reached out to Secretary Price, and we've told him that, can you please delay either indefinitely or give us a time frame for the PMTA and the deadlines that are coming up for these products, because they just don't make sense.
Okay.
And the prime example is the ingredient listing, right? And you're a hardware guy. How are we going to follow this as an ingredient listing to the FDA? It really doesn't make any sense.
Right.
So we're going to have to come out and say that this zinc alloy, you know, what are the properties and what it's made out of and what it's molded at, and you know, how do you follow the software? Does it have an LED screen? Is that an ingredient, or do we have to go deeper into the screen?
It just doesn't fit the category.
It doesn't fit a category. So all we're asking for a delay, at least for the implementation of these deadlines. So that's another avenue, and thankfully so far we've had 2,000 business owners across the United States that have written letters directly to Secretary Price, and then our federal lobbying team up there is working with him and having meetings with his staff, asking them to delay it.
Let me cut you there. We've had 2,000 letters written.
Yes.
How many vape shops do we have in the country?
There's got to be 2,000 in California alone.
2,000 in California alone.
At least.
So 2,000 is a great number, but that number could be a lot higher.
Yeah. It could be, and you know, and it sometimes. I fault some of the groups for getting the word out there, but I also fault the business owners. If you own a vape shop, you need to stay on top of this. You need to connect to either state association or federal association that you're going to be able to keep up with what is needed from you for a call to action. And, you know, the participation, 2,000 sounds like it's a lot. But in the reality, if we're going to say that our industry is huge and we have 10, 12,000, 15,000 vape shops in the United States, we represent 300,000 jobs, we need to act like that. We need to step up, and we need to act like that. So that's another avenue with Secretary Price. We also have, you know, the EVCA action that's from Mark Block up there in Wisconsin that is trying to do what's called a coordination effort, where the local municipalities can sue the FDA because they didn't consult with them before they put these regulations out that would affect the city or the municipality because of the businesses and the jobs that are in there. We'll wait to hear what's going to happen with that.
Now that's the 60-day thing,
That's
right?
the 60-day thing, yeah.
And where are we on those 60 days?
We're probably at 45 days.
45 days.
Yeah.
Okay, so I personally want to see that happen because Dimitri has promised to run naked through a vape event if that goes through.
I have, yeah.
Okay.
I hope I have to run naked. Right?
I know, yeah.
I mean, I don't want to, but that'd be great. That means that we got to win.
The cameras will be rolling for that, for sure. Okay.
We're also having a call to action for consumers to reach out to Secretary Price. And our last kind of ace in the hole is the new FDA commissioner. If he gets cleared through the Senate to be appointed by Donald Trump, Gottlieb has ties with harm reduction. He actually believes in vapor products. He believes in deregulation. He's gone on the record and talked about this in the past, which, you know, I don't weigh a lot on, especially with these guys that get appointed, but it is something better than what we've had in there right now. So maybe if he takes over the FDA, we can reach out to him as well too and say, hey, you know, what's going on here behind the Obama administration and the regulations that they put on there don't really fit our product. Can we work together with the FDA to come up with some fair, reasonable regulations? So multiple strategies going on at once.
Did you mention the lawsuit too? Isn't that still
yeah, I'm going to get the lawsuit is still going on, and I think a lot of people kind of forgot about it because we did say that it's going to be, you know, 3 or 4 months before we get an answer. So the lawsuit that we filed from R2B, the Right to Be Smoke-Free Coalition, which Sevilla USA is a part of as well, is still ongoing. We're waiting for the judge to come back and give us her decision on the various topics that we have sued on, and that's just one. We've had about, I think, 12 or 13 different docket items for this lawsuit, so we're hoping to get some relief from there. People a little bit worried that she's taking so long. I actually like that she's weighing, you know, the information. There's a lot to consume here, right? The vapor products are new. It's new technology, so it's not as simple as just a combustible easy you're gonna go in and make a decision. So I like the fact that she's taking this long, and hopefully she'll come back with a good judgment for us. But no matter what kind of happens there, we're going to have to appeal, or they're going to have to appeal, so it's still a dragged out process. But if we get a positive response from the judge, that can signal to our administration, hey, maybe we need to put a halt at this. If they're going to lose in court, there's no reason for us to spend all this money and implement these regulations. So, yeah, we're still waiting on that, and I'm very, very hopeful. And I think Azim and his team of there, Killer Heckman, have done a great job. And, yeah. Excited.
Okay, so you want to talk about states now?
Yeah, before I do that,
okay.
I know I've been known, and as you have said, you know, I'm just a Debbie Downer. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. I'm trying to be informative, and I want people to understand that. I don't want people to think that I've given up, because I personally will guarantee you that the last thing I've done is given up. I fight for this product every day, but the industry and the community needs to have accurate information. There's a lot of people out there that are spewing bad information, or that information is taken by vapors, and you know how it starts here and then it becomes something else by the time it ends to somebody else's ears. So this time in my 5-6 years of advocating for this product, this is the most positive I've ever felt for a relief in our category, right? And that's very rare for for me to hear this.
Yeah, I heard this on the show last night too, and I even made a comment. So he has this we're scale. I don't know if you're aware of that. Of course, I'm going to beep that out. But any chance of it moving off of orange at this point?
We're at orange, right? We want to move it down to elevated. If I see some relief coming, I'm going to drop it down to elevated.
How rude.
Hello?
Oh, and he's going to take it too.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Hello?
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 It's telemarketer.
Hello?
One more time.
Hello?
Nope. That was Donald Trump on the phone.
That was Hunter Douglas. Michael Douglas.
Duncan Hines.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is that the positive is there. We have done a lot of groundwork, and we should get some kind of a relief. I don't know how good it's going to be and how glamorous it's going to be, but I think that we're seeing a little bit of a shift change, right? We're seeing that we're going to get something.
It seems like there's a lot of hope on the horizon right now.
Yes.
A lot of different actions, a lot of different movements, a lot of different bills, a lot of good stuff right now.
Correct.
But that doesn't mean that you sit back and you relax. Right. You still have to be so on top of this, and when you see the calls to action, take action, make the phone calls, write the letters. It may not always be as easy as going and, clicking, you post on a survey, right? Take the amount of time, even if it's 5, 10, 15 minutes out of your day, to do this stuff. It's important. We want to keep these products around. We want to keep businesses in business. We want to keep livelihoods in place. But most importantly, we want to save lives, right? And this is so important right now.
Just sharing it doesn't do anything.
Sharing it doesn't. You have to take action. Now, I'm sure you're going to give me a whole bunch of websites to put into the description of this video, where people can just do research on all of these things that we're talking about, and letters to Congress or phone calls. So we'll put all of that in the description. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, I was even going to, mention that you sound extremely positive at this point, more positive than you've ever sounded before. And I think that's terrific. Now, state.
Yeah, the state legislation is an ongoing battle. So no matter what happens with the federal, the states obviously are going to try to clamp down on this product simply because they're losing money because of the taxes. Every person that quits smoking costs the state probably around $1,100 per person a year, right? So that's a lot of money. So imagine if 10,000 people quit smoking in the state, right? But we're seeing the states come up with per meal tax, wholesale tax, restrictions, tobacco 21. They're trying to include vapor products, moving it up from 18 to 21, and so forth and so forth. So it's very vital that you have a state association that is working actively with a lobby every year to protect the industry. It's been very successful in some states, and other states it has not. And simply because there's a lot of special interests that we're fighting here, right? This is the only product that we're fighting against big tobacco. We're fighting against pharmaceutical companies. We're fighting against our own government for taxes. We're fighting against the groups that get paid by the tobacco companies and the pharmaceutical companies to fight us, right? The ants, what we call the ants, the American Cancer Society, the Lung Society, the Tobacco-Free Kids. We have multiple enemies that are trying to squash this product. So it's up to us to organize, and I think in a state-by-state, if we can do this, we can be very, very successful in order to beat back these unfair regulations on a state level until the federal comes up with something that's going to be able to blanket us all. We've had some successes in Indiana. SB1 was just passed and signed by the government, which will open up that monopoly that was created in Indiana by a few companies a few years ago. Pennsylvania, which put a 40% wholesale tax and shut down over 100 vape shops in the state, now has a chance to be repealed. PVA is doing a great job there. They have introduced a bill that would charge 5 cents per meal instead of the 40% wholesale tax, and that will give a chance for the industry to reignite and start seeing some vape shops going on there. And I can go on and go on, but if you're in your state, reach out to your state association, find out how you can help. If you're a business, support them financially. They can't do it without money, and if you're a consumer, get out there and be loud with your voice.
Okay. So for those of you who don't know, you do have a internet radio show. What do you call it?
Smoke Free Radio. Smoke Free Radio. It's a podcast.
It's a podcast.
Yes.
Okay, I've been on there several times. I was on there.
Too old to understand that technology.
Jesus Christ. I was on it last night.
Yeah.
Actually, we broadcast from right here.
We did.
Here in this very spot.
And it did very well. I didn't break anything. And it was really good.
No, it worked. Yeah. We also did some interesting live feeds yesterday.
We did.
That was a whole lot of fun.
Yeah. If you look up here, there's a little cradle that was holding my phone. Give us that top-down look. That's great.
There it is. Yeah, so people gotta look at the man cave, and so give the website for the
smokefreeradio.com. Hopefully, Phil will put the link down here. Smokefreeradio.com. The beauty about having a podcast, unlike the video, which I do miss doing videos. Don't get me wrong, is people are busy, right? So they're working, they're getting in their car. They have mostly mobile devices now that they listen to stuff. Smoke Free Radio can be found on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud, Podcast Addict, Podcast Junkie. Anywhere that you can get podcasts, you can find it. That way, if you're driving to work, you don't have a lot of time, or you're at work, you're bored, or if you're working out, being on the bicycle or something, you can just put your earbuds inside and just listen and try to get the information. And the goal of Smoke Free Radio and the network, because we have other shows on there as well too, is to always relay correct, accurate information so you can make the decision. Listen to the facts and listen to what's going on, and then make a decision how it's going to affect your life or how it's going to affect your business, and try to do the best to protect it. Protect both of them.
And I will put the link up for Smoke Free Radio.
Thank you. I'll put it like right here.
Right there? Yeah, I'm going to send you my PayPal account for that as well.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah.
Anything? Well, I mean, thanks for taking the time to do this video,
it's my pleasure.
Because we've been kind of busy, kind of crazy this week.
It has.
Or this weekend. Actually, everything's been crazy. So, like, travel for you. I know I've got my niece. Hi, Lexi. She better not be watching this video. But I got to go to her first communion. Right?
She's cute. She's really
adorable.
Cute. Really cute. I can't wait to bring my girls up here so they can meet her and play with her.
And play and go swimming and stuff. And then we're going to Germany.
We're going to Stuttgart, Germany for the Hall of Vape Expo. Very, very excited about this event.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
I've known Ira for a long time. I met him actually before he threw his first event in Germany a couple years ago. And we've been trying to make this thing work out as far as the date's concerned.
I was looking for my flag. It's in the other room. But I have the German flag is ready to go up there. We're going to add another flag.
So it looks like it's very, very well organized. Great panels, great discussion, and a lot of modders.
Incredible modders gallery.
Just unbelievable. Some of the top names of modding are going to be there. A couple from Italy as well too. I was really surprised. Mostly from Greece though. There's at least 10 from Greece.
I was waiting for that
just
stab.
letting you know.
It's going to happen.
But I'm very, very excited about that. And then the 17th of May, I'll be in Greece for the Vape Arrow Expo. And then hopefully we'll be together to the 23rd, Birmingham for the Vapor Expo. We were there last year. We had a really great time.
We're going to find out about that. We're going to have some pretty good announcements here coming soon.
Yeah. Right? Very excited. We've been working on a project, and if you follow me for any given time, if you heard me on Smoke Free Radio, and obviously you know Phil from his channel here, we said that in 2017 we're going to dedicate 2017 for the smokers. We have to get out there and get more people to vape, folks. For those of us that have been vaping for 5, 6, 7 years, sometimes it becomes repetitive. You don't really want to do anything. I mean, you just don't want to smoke, right? You know what your favorite setup is, what your favorite liquid is. We need to get the fresh blood into the advocacy stream, right? The people that just quit and feel excited about it and can help and can be passionate about it. And I feel like an industry we've done a bad job this last year. We haven't really catered to the smoker, and that's going to be my goal and Phil's goal. I know for sure. For the years to come, and we really need to reach out there and help them. I want to look back at this 10, 20 years from now, and I want to think that we did something, that we left some kind of a legacy behind, that we helped some people quit smoking, and that's just rewarding in itself.
Yeah, and I'm sure we have up to this point, but there's more that need to be reached.
Yes.
There's a reason why there's still 42 million smokers in America.
Absolutely,
and that's a lot of people, and that's a lot of lives that we can save.
And across the world.
Yeah, and I mean, we just had somebody close in the family that passed away of lung cancer.
Very, very sorry to hear that.
This is just recent. As a matter of fact, I've got to go to the funeral on Friday, and I just keep asking that question: is that cigarette really worth it? Is it really worth it? I mean, with all of the products that we have, all of the choices and variety we have, all of the different styles of vaping, is that cigarette still really worth it? Just to get some more years on your life. I don't know.
You know what I found? I was really touched when your wife came in yesterday. She knows the family.
You really touched my wife?
No, I didn't touch your wife.
Wait, say that again.
I'm not Dan, but but I was really touched when she came in yesterday and she said, I need to get some T18s because the people that were working with this girl that passed away, some of them smoke, and they saw what happened to her. and now they want to discover vaping. And I was like, that was just really, really sweet. She's like, I need to get like a dozen T18s and some liquid and try to get these folks. And they're all starting to become interested now and asking questions. And it's unfortunate that take an event like this.
It takes that.
But this is what we as veteran vapors, this is what we should be doing every day, is spreading that awareness.
Yeah, see, they all work together at a diner that's actually right up the street.
We had lunch yesterday.
Yeah, we had lunch there. And so what I'm going to do is work with Inikin to see if I can get those products. If not, I will go out and buy them myself. But Inikin is always pretty, giving when it comes to things like that. I'm going to go to the diner. I'm going to introduce it, talk to them about what vaping is, give them a class on using that device, and hopefully get them all off of cigarettes.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That's what we want to do. I mean, we've talked about a lot of different strategies, ourselves about how we can reach the smoker. Always easy to reach the vapor. I guarantee you, 99.9% of the people who are watching this video right now are vapors.
Yeah.
How do we reach the smoker?
My biggest pet peeve is
you have a lot of big pet peeves.
I have. But one of my biggest pet peeves is the misinformation and the miseducation of the definition of a starter kit. This really pisses me off. It pisses me off because you know better, right? Just because you have your website set up and it just says starter kits and liquids doesn't mean that you can put a 150-watt device with a Baby Bist 6-stuplet coil under the starter kit category. It confuses the hell out of people. But more than that...
Are you saying that isn't a starter kit?
If I see that as a starter kit on anybody's website, I'm calling them out.
I had one. This is what it was labeled as a starter kit. Yeah.
So... it's not so much that the person you're misleading the person that's going to buy it. My biggest fear is that they're going to buy it, they're not going to be satisfied, and they're not going to have a good experience with vaping, and then they're going to say, "Well, I spent $100."
It's going to be too different from what they're used to.
Yes.
Right?
And what happened to the days that it was cheaper to get people involved into vaping, right? It seems like now you have to drop $100, $150 to get a 4-battery device and 4 batteries and a charger and these coils that cost $11 a pop. And
yet I'm using this and being more than satisfied.
Absolutely.
And I'll talk about this soon.
Yeah. You can take a puff on mine too.
Take a puff on yours.
Watermelon peach. Pretty good.
Peach watermelon.
Whatever. It's good. It's good vape though.
Very cool.
But this is where I'm at. What happened to when we're going through these? And I know some people are going to say, well, that's outdated. We have so much better equipment out there. We have so much better equipment for the vapor today. Yes, I agree. We have so much better equipment. But that doesn't necessarily mean that something like this is going to get somebody off cigarettes. And I think that's what really, really pisses me off.
Hey,
let's start separating the starter kit, the true starter kits from the intermediate kits and the advanced kits.
Right. Or label them. I mean, if it's a cloud kit, call it a cloud kit. If it's a direct lung kit, call it a direct lung kit. If it's a cigarette equivalent, call it that. But we need better labeling on these so that people, when they see starter kit, is that truly a starter kit for them, right? Because, if I was a smoker and I went to a website and I saw starter kit, I'm a starter, I'm a smoker, I'm going into vaping, therefore that kit is for me, and that is not the case.
Yes, I think that the marketing and the language is all geared towards vapors. They automatically assume that, oh, a guy's going to come on the website, going to see that, he's a vapor, he knows what it is. We don't have to get descriptive with it. And I think that if you go back to 2011 and 2012 when we started, it was much different, right? It was much different. Even the descriptions on the website, when it wasn't so much of the marketing, but it was actually get the description of the product, was a little bit more accurate.
And I think the conversion rate was higher back then, too. I mean, what does that tell you?
Yes.
Right?
Yes. I agree.
It's really interesting.
One of the most revolutionary products, in my opinion, has always been the Ego Twist. I mean, the Ego Twist with the VV Nova. The VV Nova, one of the most infamous tanks. I mean, I remember when you did the video with the
that was the C. Yeah, that was But I was on the VV Nova exit for a long time.
Yeah.
I was really hot on that tank. Yeah, and it worked really well
because it was easy.
Right.
It tasted good. We used higher nicotine back then, and of course higher PG, and that's one of the reasons why it did work so well and the flavor was so well. So keep in mind the reversal that we've gotten into this whole vaping has this roller coaster where it goes up and down, up and down, up and down. I mean, we see squonkers coming back now, right?
Yeah.
Squonking was hot back in 2012. I had a Rio back then. My wife used the Rio back then. Now we're seeing it come back up, right? Mechanicals were hot back then. Now we're seeing mechanicals come back up. So we're seeing the only thing that we're not seeing a roller coaster of is more devices to get people to quit smoking, and I think that's what we should focus on for the next couple of years.
What about things like the Juul and the iCares and the Boulder? What about some of that stuff?
Well, I have a little bit mixed feelings about that. I think they're great additions to have, but I don't think they're satisfactory yet to get people to quit smoking. So I think that there should be a balance there. We have to go somewhere in between the Boulder and in between a device that uses an 18650 mod. That's where I think in between those is where I think that we're lacking a lot of products.
What I've noticed about all those products, none of them satisfy me at a 12 milligram.
Because the delivery, I think, of nicotine is not correct. I think that if you're going to use a 12 milligram nicotine liquid, I think that you should design the device first and then the liquid, right? Not the other way around. So now what we're doing is we're having these devices being filled, designed, and then they fill it with existing market liquid, right? So if you're going to put a 3 milligram into one of these pod systems, or even a 6 milligram high VG, or even a 12 milligram high VG in these devices, you're not going to get the satisfaction, because that liquid is not designed to be vaped at 15 watts, right? It's designed to be vaped at 40 watts. If you can't give it that heat, you're not going to get the flavor. So I think first you design the device, and then you design a liquid that goes along with it. I'm the same way, and I travel a lot. I'd love to have something small that's really satisfying to me or has a good flavor, and I haven't been able to find either or, you know.
Well, you have something that's really small, but it's not satisfying. Yes. What about nicotine salts? What do you think about that?
I don't have enough information on nicotine salts. I do know that the chemical extraction process of the nicotine is a little bit different than what we're used to. I know that it is more potent, it has more nitrosamines, and it's a little bit more addictive. It has more addictive properties, which actually might help people that can't convert to vaping, right? It's a good stepping stone to say, hey, if the products that are on the market now can't satisfy you, here, maybe try this nicotine salt product, and that may be able to get you off cigarettes, get you enough satisfaction and that nicotine C plasma that we're looking for to get you off traditional combustible cigarettes. Personally, I don't have any use for it. I mean, I'm very happy with my 12 milligram regular or extracted, and that's what satisfies me. That's what I like.
Yeah. I find that I can feel the nicotine, but it just doesn't have that kick that I like.
It feels more of a head rush than it does a throat rush. Yeah. And I think that's the difference. For me, I never wanted, even where I was vaping higher in milligram, it wasn't so much about the rush of, getting that inhale. It was more of like feeling it in my throat, because I think that's when I feel like I'm actually smoking, right? I feel like I'm inhaling something and actually feel it. Yeah. Where the direct lung is, I don't really feel anything here. Your lungs fill up, but I don't feel anything in my throat, right? So that's mostly for flavor. And I do have a direct lung, the Crown Tack, and people are going to say I'm a dinosaur for using this, but it worked great. This is one of the most underrated tanks, I think, in the market. But I do have this with lower milligram for more flavor. But my satisfaction is when I actually feel, the vapor going down. I actually feel like I'm doing something. Yeah. And I think that a lot of smokers are like that. I don't think we're dependent on nicotine as we are so much the physiological, the sensation that we're getting out of it. And I remember, working in the restaurants, we'd get busy for 2 or 3 hours and I couldn't smoke, right? And you're just always running around the restaurant, seating people and all that. And then the first break that I could get, I'd walk outside and light a cigarette. That first burn that I got in my throat just automatically called me. Yeah. So I don't think it was so much the nicotine. It was just that, now I feel like I can just relax now and de-stress. Right. So, and I think that's why the 12 milligram and the higher PG concentration, like we like, is what's satisfying us.
Yeah. Can we end with something comical?
Please.
Okay. Because now you stayed down here last night. Is that correct?
I did.
Okay. So I'm looking up at this bottle right now. You may have seen this in a video in the past for me. And this is a bottle of Dimitris. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if it's focusing or not. But it says, there we go, Dimitris Jerk Juice. Now, the disturbing thing is that this bottle was full just yesterday, and he stayed down here last night.
I really don't know.
Did you actually?
I didn't. I don't know what you're talking about. I think it was just from the humidity down here, and you open up the cap. But by the way, this is patented.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Has it been on the market since 8/8?
Absolutely. I have the invoices to prove it. That's not...
All right, buddy. Well, thanks very much for this. The whole weekend or it's not even the weekend. It's like a week. I lost track of time. Yeah. But thanks for coming down here. Thanks for
never enough
this video.
Time. Yeah, and thanks to you and your wife for your hospitality every time.
Of course,
and, it's just great being around you, and I miss you. So it was good.
I know. We need to move closer together at some point. Although we would really,
our wives
we would either get a lot done or nothing done. I'm not sure which.
And our wives would be pretty much upset with us.
Well, as long as they're friendly.
That's true. That's true.
As long as they can. Yeah.
What are you trying to get to here? Are you trying to create some kind of?
Hey, well, why not? So that's it, right? Anything else?
Yeah. No, just stay
Sure.
informed and respond to the calls to action. They're there for a reason, and they're called calls to action for you to take action.
Yep. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
All
Thanks for
right.
having me.
Safe travels home. Thanks for watching. Good.
And we'll see you again soon.
So thank you, Mr. Dimitri, for recording that with me. And this is it. Calls to action. Do the actions, guys. It's the final push to get that Cold Bishop through. So let's make that happen. Okay. Now, before we get to the E-Cig Gallery, first, a moment of silence.
And it's nice to see everybody working towards that goal. I'll continue. So, the next week...
I don't know what happened. He just lost his train of thought. I think that happens when he sits that close to me. I thought you would enjoy that. All right, so to E-Cig Gallery, look at that photo. Who'd have ever thought that photo would happen? And by the way, we got to find out who won the last naughty contest at the end of this video. I don't even know how many people entered. I got to go find that out as we do this. All right, so what was the party at E-Cig Gallery all about? The party at E-Cig Gallery was like an industry party. Ed threw it. This is Ed right here. Ed Bolin, the owner of E-Cig Gallery, who has, I would say, about probably about 70% of my chips in front of him right now, as we played the most bizarre poker game I have ever experienced. But it was a whole lot of fun. We really did have a lot of fun. And that was on night one. Before night one happened, I did go check out the wholesale area there at E-Cig Gallery, and I did have a brief conversation with Ed. And I even said, Ed, I want to do like a full interview with you. And he's like, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And then I get pulled in this direction, that direction, this direction, that direction, and that never wound up happening. But at least I did get to talk to Ed a little bit here, and here's how it went. When you started, did you ever think like it would get to this point?
Yes, actually.
You did. Good. It's a plan. I love it. I love it.
I thought it looked awfully easy.
Right.
And when I went into E-Cig City in Laguna Beach, that's where I bought my first device. Every time I went in there was 4 people in line. Every time I went there, I spent between $100 and $200. And I said, what is wrong with this picture? This looks way too easy.
Yeah.
And that's where it started.
And you were a smoker before all of this?
2 packs a day.
2 packs a day.
And I brought down a device an old girlfriend had given me to have them show me how it worked. And he said, no, buy this Joytech. And I got it, and I said, this is never going to work. But I made it an hour without having a cigarette, 2 pack a day. An hour was the most I could go.
Right, and that was it, right?
That was it. And I said, wow, I can't believe this thing works.
That's
and
cool.
3 weeks after I went in there and started vaping, I said, I'm opening one of these. And then it took me till the fall to raise the money. I didn't have any money. Raised the money and rented a place November 15th, opened December 1st, and the rest is history.
So this is your warehouse area here, right?
This is the warehouse, this is the wholesale.
Look at that, look at that, look at that man right there, the face. Actually, with the lighting here, you look bright red.
Yeah,
red like a lobster.
Looks like
I am Lobster Man.
So there you go. That's kind of what I got. I got a little bit more, but that's what I got. And you saw Mr. Austin Hopper there, the face of Vape, right? I do want to thank him for his hospitality. He did allow me to stay in his home while I was out there, so I didn't stay at a hotel. So Mr. Austin Hopper took very, very good care of me in Dimitri's absence. So thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Now, you may have, I don't know if you noticed any of the photos here, the photos that I put on Facebook, but you saw a big E-Cig Gallery camp, or I guess you could call it a tour bus, because Ed there is going to go on a little tour of shops around the country. I guess that's the plan anyway. So I did get a brief tour of the tour bus, and as always, I'm thinking about Dimitri. So this is going to be your tour bus.
This is going to be my mobile office. And so, because I don't like conventions, I like to be able to bring them out here,
Right.
have food and drink.
Hell yeah. This is pimping. So this is my bed back here, right?
This is your bed back
here. Okay, thank you. Very, very nice. Okay.
Get your own walk-in closet. And we'll do some live video of you showering.
Of me showering? Okay, yeah. Well, you know what? That might be too.
Webcam.
That might be too small for me and Dimitri at the same time. So now we're going to get to day 2, and on day 2 we had another really nice dinner with pretty much all the employees from E-Cig Gallery. Some folks who came in from out of town. Inick and George was there, and it was like a Brazilian barbecue, you know, where the guys come around with the skewers and they cut the meat and you pretty much eat until you can't eat anymore, which is exactly what I need. But anyway, that was really good. But before we get to dinner and what happened after dinner, this guy stopped by, and I've met him once before at the New Jersey event fiasco thing. And his name is Steven, and he's originally from Hawaii, and we talked a fair amount in New Jersey, but he stopped by to say hello to me at Austin's house, and we were talking and I just got like a sense of this guy's passion, and he's a younger guy, but I just got a sense of his passion for vaping and his passion for doing things the right way and his passion for advocacy, and I just whipped out the cell phone and I shoved it in his face, and here's what happened. I'm sitting here at Austin Hopper's house, the face of Vape, and Steven stopped by to hang out and talk for a little while, and Steven is a really, really passionate dude when it comes to vaping. I mean, just a little bit, and the passion is infectious. And I wanted to do this real quick. Steven, tell everybody about your shops and where are your shops?
We're located in Vancouver, Washington. We have 2 locations, one on the south side of Vancouver, one on the north side, so we can cover, you know, both areas for you guys, so no matter where they're at. They're called Hawaiian Vapor. My family comes from Hawaii. That's where we found out about vaping. And once my whole family quit smoking and everything because of vaping, it was just kind of the next step for us to move over to Vancouver, Washington. And I mean, I could really go into the whole story about how it all happened, but the way that community embraced us and really made us is just, it's more of a, I don't know how to explain it. It's a vape shop, don't get me wrong, but it's more of a place where people can feel free to be themselves and feel comfortable. You know, it's you
got that whole family. I mean, you kind of carried that whole family thing from Hawaii to here, right?
Oh, for sure. We call it every single person Ohana. You can't walk into our stores, and if you ever do walk into our stores and it isn't her, let me know. I'll make sure that person doesn't do it anymore. But if you walk into our stores, you hear this every single time. Aloha! Welcome to Hawaiian Vapor. How you doing today, brother? And that's just our thing, is we know why you're there, but we want to just know how you're doing. How's your day going? Are you stressed out? Has something bad happened? Let's talk about it. Right. Can we be there for you? I mean, every single customer, I was just telling you a little second ago about how one customer left a coil that she needed to be able to vape, and she was an hour and a half away, and another customer drove 30 minutes out of his way to come pick it up, drive it down to her to fix it for her and replace it for her while she was at work so she could still vape that day. I mean, what our customers do for each other, they help each other. I mean, snowstorm, they let each other use their AAA, they go out of their way to help people out when they're broken on the side of the road. I mean, our community in Vancouver, Washington is absolutely amazing, and I mean, to even be a part of it, I'm honored. I mean, I really am. I'm honored to be a part of it. I'm honored to be able to bring Hawaiian Vapor and that aloha mentality to Vancouver, Washington.
And you're also passionate about, you know, the advocacy side of vaping. Talk to me about that 18 to 21-year-old group that we were talking about before, and how you try to get them involved in more than just blowing clouds and tricking.
Yeah, you know, and I'm going to say something real quick to kind of start it off and preface it, and I think that everyone already knows this, and I think a lot of people don't like to say it, but that 18 to 21 or even 18 to 25, they kind of get looked down upon a lot by the advocacy world. And I'm just going to say this, to be honest with you, because it's the smallest demographic of vapors, and they're the loudest group. And it's not their fault that they're passionate about what they do. It's just they're not directed the right way. They have the right intentions, but maybe not necessarily the right actions, if that makes sense. And so when I first got into advocacy, you know, there's a lot of parts of advocacy, and I was like, how come everyone's just bypassing this amazing energy ball group? And I started talking to people, and what I found out was it's just because of the image that they portray. And I'm a big fan of psychology, and one of the things that I say every single day in my life is perception is reality, which means that our perception of these 18 to 25-year-olds is our reality. The only way to change someone's reality is to change their perception. So my goal is to change the perception of these 18 to 25-year-olds. And the reason to do that is to get them more involved. Because if they're the loudest group and they're the most passionate, what if they were the loudest about advocacy? What if they were the most passionate about advocacy? Imagine then what we could get done. And how I did that was make advocacy fun. Show people that advocacy could be for anyone. I mean, it's a passionate thing that I really am passionate about. I mean, this government is for the people, by the people. You know, every single senator, governor, legislative person out there, their real title is public servant. And I think that's been lost. I really do. I think that when you talk about public servant, we're the public, which means that they're our servants. And because they're our servants, we have the right to be able to know not only what they do, but also have the ability to affect what they do. They're being us servants, we're the boss. Right. If you owned a company and your employees weren't doing what you wanted and they were purposely going against what you wanted, what would you do?
Right.
You would fire them.
Right. So you are really encouraging, all people to get involved in advocacy. It's important, right?
Every single person. I don't care who you are. If you, I tell people in my shops this, and this pisses off some people, but I really don't care. Don't come into my shop and bitch about the fact that T21 is coming. Don't bitch about taxes of 90%. Don't tell me these things about vaping if you're not voting. If you're not a part of your local advocacy group, if you're not a part of CASA, it's a free group, people. If you're not a part of these things and you think you have the right to bitch, how come I have to hear it, but you won't even tell it to your own employees, the servants that are supposed to be serving you, but you want to come bitch about it to me? I don't want to hear it. The only way I want to hear it is if we're talking about how we can make a change. And the only way to make a change is to stand up and do something, which means get a part of CASA, get a part of your local advocacy groups, whatever it is. Ask your shops, hey, do you support advocacy? What do you do? What are you doing to make sure that I can still vape next week? What are you doing to make sure that vaping doesn't go away next month? And if they're not doing anything, why are we supporting those people?
Right.
And why am I listening to people bitch about something when they don't want to make any actions to try and improve it?
Yeah, no doubt.
It doesn't make sense.
You got a website?
HawaiianVapors.org or Hawaiian-Vape.com. Sorry, we changed it.
That's all right. It'll be on the screen.
Yeah, Hawaiian-Vape.com.
And Austin?
Stephen Bang Bang for president.
Yeah. So Austin, do you have any Valium for this dude before?
I switched him to decaf this morning.
Good. What's it like dealing with him?
Check out the West Coast Vape Expo, though. It's a whole convention.
I need more Valium.
Thanks, Stephen.
Absolutely. Check out West Coast Vape Expo, guys. It's literally the first event, trade show that's all about advocacy.
Okay, cool.
Still have fun, but let's focus more on advocacy. Let's get it out there.
Love it. Thanks for talking to me.
Absolutely, Phil. Thank you. Surprising me like that, though. Didn't even tell me. Just here's the camera. Smile.
That's what I do.
On Candid Interviews by Phil Busardo.
So I thought it would be cool to put that in this video, especially since we were talking about advocacy earlier with Dimitri, to get just somebody completely different, right, talking about advocacy. We also had a conversation that I didn't put in there because we're kind of pressed for time in this video. Imagine that. We were talking about selecting the right product for the right person. You know how we were just talking about with Dimitri about the starter kits, right? So now here's a guy, Stephen Bang Bang, or what I think that's his nickname, or his liquid line, and he's blowing big clouds, and he's doing the tricks, and he's making the O's and everything. And we start talking about, he's like, no, he goes, that's not for everybody. That's not for the person who comes into the shop. You have to select the right tool for the right job. The right tool for the right job. So thanks, Stephen. Thanks for talking to me there. That was it was a little crazy. It was a little crazy, but it was cool to hear it from you too. So then we went to dinner and then go-kart racing. We went go-kart racing. Ed brought everybody go-kart racing, and that was a whole lot of fun. How did I do? Look at that. Look at that. Third place. Not bad for an old guy, huh? Especially one with a little meat on his bones. How did Austin do? I'm kidding. That was only a qualifying run, but Austin took a medal home too. So now we get to day 3, and on day 3, that's the day of the party, okay? And what kind of party was it? It was an industry party. That's what Ed wanted to do. He wanted to throw an industry party, and he launched a few different e-liquids and kind of relaunched a couple as well. So B happened to be one of them. So thank you very much, Ed, for carrying and now distributing B e-liquid. The Merge, okay? The Merge is Rip Trippers, and we'll get to him in just a little bit. That's Rip Trippers and Flawless. Also Halcyon. My friend Patrick was there with Halcyon Vapor. And then the Spotlight, okay? Just Spotlight. Not the Spotlight, just Spotlight. And that is Rip Tripper's line, okay? So that was kind of like the 4 Spotlight flavors. And I do want to thank Patrick over there at Halcyon, because Patrick has really been helping me out with the B line. And I know he did a whole lot of work to get the B-line there and get the graphic and the imagery there. So, Patrick, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Patrick's a great guy, by the way. So, the party was one part at earlier in the afternoon. It was at the wholesale location, and then it was about like 2 or 3 hours there, and then it moved over to the retail location. You've already seen the wholesale location. You're actually seeing some video of that area right now. and then we moved over to the retail location, and I did take a couple of photos inside the shop. You're seeing those photos right now, and then I know what you're going to ask. So let's talk about it. What was Rip Trippers like? I was told by a lot of people that he's much different in private, right? And, you know, I don't think he's nowhere near as over the top as he is in his videos in private, but there's definitely a whole lot of Rip Tripper there. I mean, you know, you're talking to him, and you definitely see the whites of his eyes when you're talking to him, and there's a whole lot of hand motion going on. And you know what? I thought he was really cool. I thought he was a really super nice guy. He was very, very nice to me. We took a whole bunch of photos together. He took photos with other people at the event as well. He talked to everybody. He talked to me a bunch, not only at the event and at dinner afterwards. And he just seems to be very, very passionate about getting people off of traditional tobacco cigarettes and into vaping. And he just mentioned Cole Bishop over and over again. Cole Bishop, we got to get Cole Bishop passed. So, you know, like I said, you know, love him or hate him, he was super nice to me. He was super nice to everybody who was there. And he's got a passion for vaping, folks. And there's a whole lot of people who watch him. And I'm sure there's a whole lot of people that are influenced and not smoking because he's around. Okay, so I think that's a good thing. And it was nice to meet him. And it was also nice to see my friend Matt Bradley again from The Deadliest Catch. He was there along with his beautiful wife, Angela. And by the way, I was not a fan. I was not a fan of sitting behind a table signing autographs. That is not me, guys. I hope you would know that by now. But that is what Ed wanted. That is what he had set up there. So that is what I did. But I'd try, like, everybody, I would sign, and I would get up and give him a hug because that's not me. That's me sitting behind a table signing autographs is not what I do, right? But you know, hey, if like I said, Ed wanted that, and if I could bring a smile to somebody's face from doing something like that, I am more than happy to. And that is it. That is pretty much all that I have to say about the event. And we're going to get to the last Not a Contest winner. But I do sincerely want to thank Ed and the entire staff there. The staff was so nice. All the people who came out from Southern California and those people who came in from out of town as well. You guys really made me feel at home, and I always appreciate that, okay? So thank you, Ed, all of the staff over there at E-Cig Gallery, and everybody who came out. Thank you so much. All right, so on to the last Not a Contest for your very own Jack Vapor Series B DNA 75 device right here. And by the way, I feel bad for the last Not a Contest winner. Not this Not a Contest winner, but poor Chris Phillips. He couldn't have been a worse winner because he won E-Liquid, and he happens to be from Canada. And guess what I can't send him? Nicotine E-Liquid. So I did offer him a different prize. So I tell you what, for this winner, in addition to the Jack Vapor, I am going to send you a bottle of Smith & Baxter of your choice. I don't have the bottles here. Maybe I'll give you a tube if you want a tube. And also a bottle of, or a tube of Halcyon of your choice. Okay, so we'll just kind of roll that over. And Chris, I took care of with another prize. All right, so it was a movie quote. I quoted a movie somewhere in the video, and I know a lot of people thought it was Pacific Rim, but that was not the movie that I quoted. No, the movie was Cannonball Run. Here's the quote. It is small. S-M all. Okay, and here's the movie.
Because you're small. Small. S-M all.
And I was so excited that anybody got it right. I didn't think anybody was going to get it right, but we did have some correct entries. So let's... Give it away now. All right, guys, here we are in random.org. It is a list randomizer, just like we always do. For this contest, 98 of you got it right, and I was so excited to see that. Like I said, I didn't think anybody was going to get it, but 98 of you got it correct and entered the contest the correct way. Let's find out who won. Good luck, everybody. The winner is... Kevin, oh, Kevin, how about that? Kevin Voigt won. Congratulations. And I said, oh, how about that, Kevin Voigt? Because Kevin and I actually talk a fair amount online. So, Kevin, congratulations. You are the big wiener. See, Kevin, you play long enough, you're going to win. So, congratulations to you, Kevin Voigt. You are the big wiener tonight. You know what you got to do. Get an email to me at PBusardo@tasteyourjuice.com using the same email that you entered the contest in. I will validate who you are. I will get some information from you, and I will get this out into the mail just as soon as I can. All right, guys, that is the end of this video. I hope you found some of the information helpful. I hope you found some of it fun. As always, I thank you guys for watching, and I will see you again soon.
Can I taste your juice?